So Facebook ads, yeah, there could not be a better time for you to be getting into social media marketing. Whether you're a B2C business owner or you're a social media marketing agency aspiring owner, and you're just trying to wrap your head around the whole sort of social media marketing, how it all works, how to actually generate sales and leads and drive people to your website. In this video, I'm going to be going through the whole thing step by step, how to set up a traffic ad. I'm going to be going over each one, sort of how they all work, just giving you the brief overview of it, how it all works. So at the end of this video, you'll be able to set up your own ad and drive traffic to your website or generate leads. So let's just go straight into it. Also, a shameless plug, but if you are an aspiring agency owner and you're just getting into social media marketing, I do have a Facebook group, a big community of people just like yourself that are looking to get into the whole sort of social media marketing, don't quite know where to start or have a lot of questions. It's an amazing group. It's full of people just like yourself that are looking to find answers, and we have a bunch of people helping each other out. So the first link in the description is actually for my Facebook group. But anyway, that out of the way, how this video is going to work, I'm screen recording my computer right there, and of course I've got my face cam, so I'm just going to be switching in between the two as we go. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be going over the whole business side of Facebook, the ads manager, the behind the scenes. So yeah, let's just go straight into it. So this is what the ads manager actually looks like. So I'm not going to be going over in this video how to set up a business page, just because it is so simple. All you have to do is go on to business.facebook.com and press enter, and it will literally give you a step-by-step. Facebook will just guide you on how to create an account. Then all you've got to do is connect your Facebook to this business manager account and you'll be here. So if you've ever actually dabbled around with Facebook ads, a lot of my clients that I've spoken to have always said, oh yeah, we've tried Facebook ads, but it didn't work. Now, there's a difference between the little boost button next to your post and this. Reason being is because with this, when you go into the behind the scenes and the business manager side of things, you get so much more, I guess, arsenal to play around with. You have so many more options to target people, etc., than just the original boost button. So anyway, once you have set it up, how to get into this part, you press here and press ads manager. Now, of course, if you haven't ran ads before, none of these will be here, so you press create. But yeah, let's just go straight into it. So how the ads actually work, there are three main pillars to it. So you've got the campaign, then you've got an ad set inside of that campaign, and then you've got the actual ad that appears on Facebook within that ad set. So I'm going to be going through each one of them. So this first part, of course, being a campaign, you can choose the campaign name. So let's just say example. Now the next one is special ad category. Now, unless you're doing ads for credit, housing, or employment, you have to tick that box there, because Facebook will know when they review your ad whether you do fall under one of these categories, and if you do and you haven't ticked the ad, your ad will not actually go live. And now what it does, by the way, it basically, once you do tick that box, you don't get quite as many targeting options, just because they don't want people to sort of neglect others and target special areas that are sort of more wealthy, etc. So for example, if you're an estate agent and you're trying to sell £500,000 house, you obviously wouldn't target a low income area, just because people there wouldn't be able to afford that house. So they don't want you to do that, basically. So for us, I'm going to be doing this example for a car dealership, and I'm not going to be ticking that box. However, I have heard some people out in America, they do have to tick the box if they're doing ads for car dealerships. For me personally, I've been doing it for just under a year and I've never had a problem with it, so I don't tick that one. So then we have the campaign objective, and this is really where you get to choose what you want the ad to do. You have so much to play around with, so I'm just going to go through them really quickly. So the first tab is awareness. So brand awareness and reach are essentially the same thing. Brand awareness, if you choose this one, Facebook will show your ads to people that are more likely to engage with your content, whereas reach is just they're going to be trying to show to as many people as possible in your targeted location. So with reach, you're going to get a lot more sort of engagement and views and etc. Whereas with brand awareness, you're going to get a little bit less, but it's going to be people that are actually more likely to interact with your stuff. Then we've got these ones, which are the ones that I use most common. So you've got considerations. So the first one is traffic. Now, obviously you're driving traffic to your website, which is what I'm going to be using. You've got app installs, which if you have an app for your business, obviously you're going to be driving for people to install your app. Maybe you have a game or something like that. Video views, pretty self-explanatory. Lead generation is where people can actually put in their details and they become an actual lead to send to your client, or if you're watching this as a business owner, you can then actually contact them and book them in for whatever your business does. Post engagements, again, pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to be getting a ton of likes and comments. Next one, we have page likes. It is super important, especially if you are a beginner. You definitely want to use this campaign a couple of times, get your page up to a couple of thousand likes, and it will boost your credibility online. Also, your ads become a lot cheaper in the long run if you have a lot of likes and already have an engaging account. So the next one is event responses. I personally never use this one, but if you had an event coming up, say next week or in a month's time, you could run a Facebook ad in your local area just for that event, so people would actually see it and join it and then come along and you could sell your service or whatever you're doing. The last one under consideration is messages, and of course, pretty self-explanatory. It would be an ad starting a conversation of some sort. People would click on it and they would give you a message and then potentially become a lead, but that's where you could actually reply to their message and do whatever you guys are planning to do. So then the last three, we have conversions. Now, if you're a complete beginner, don't worry about these ones at the moment. I will go over them at the end of the video. But if you had a Facebook pixel installed, again, don't worry if you don't know any idea what that is. I will go through it in a second. But if you had a Facebook pixel installed, you could generate an audience of people that have visited your website and then retarget them and convert them into sales. So that's what those ones are. But like I said, I will go over them later on in the video, so don't worry about that at the moment. So for this video, for this example, we're going to be doing traffic ads to lead to their website. So once you have chosen your campaign objective, you now have the option to do A/B test. So what that is, it says right here, compare the performance of your ad sets. You can test the creative, placements, audience, and delivery optimization. In other words, it's really cool that this is now on Facebook. A couple of years ago, this wasn't even an option. You'd have to do it yourself manually. So basically, when you are creating the ad, there is 101 things you can do differently, tweak it a little bit. For example, if you was to create an ad targeting, let's just do really easily, males, that would obviously have different results if you was to just target women. So that's what split testing is creating more than just one ad. So they're all different in some sense. Maybe the picture's different, like it says there. The creative, the placement, audience, and delivery optimization. You can just tweak them and you'll get different results. At the end of the day, you're trying to get the cheapest cost per lead or cost per click, whatever it is. You're trying to save as much money at the end of the day and get the most results. So again, for this example, if you are just a beginner, I'm not going to be doing split testing just because we're going to be creating just one ad as a traffic ad to your website. However, if you are more sort of intermediate and you know all of this stuff, 100% do some split testing, just because in the long term you can save a lot of money and get better results. Cool, so the next one is campaign budget optimization. Now this one goes in hand with sort of split testing. So if you had more than just one ad set in the campaign, say your budget optimization was like £100, what it would do, Facebook would choose which ad set would get paid more based on the results that it's getting you. So for example, imagine you had two, let's just use that same example I just used a second ago. You have two ad sets, one is targeting just males, the other one is just females. If, for example, the male one is performing better, out of your £100, Facebook would put £80 into that one and 20 into the other one. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, as a general rule, I don't honestly use the campaign budget optimization that much anyway, just because I like to be in control of where the money is spent. Cool, so then we have the ad set. Again, for this one, I'm just going to put example. And also you get to choose if you want to use an existing ad set or skip ad set. Then the last one, of course, is the ad itself. Let's just say example. You can literally name this whatever you want. Cool, save to draft, and now we'll go straight into it. Awesome. So this is obviously broken down to the three pillars that I mentioned at the beginning. This one being the campaign, ad set, and the ad. If for whatever reason you choose to do some other sort of campaign, you can always change it right here. You can change the name, etc., etc. So this whole page is of course just the campaign. This is all you get to choose from. So we've basically already set this one up, so don't worry about that. So then you go into the ad set. Again, if you wanted to change something out, you can always change this. So for example, with the traffic, do you want them to go to your website, to your app, to Messenger or WhatsApp? Again, for this example, we're going to be choosing the website. So I'm just going to be leaving it as that. Cool, then under that one, we have dynamic creative. I don't really use this again. This would be if you was just to give Facebook sort of your images, your headlines, your text, etc., and they would generate sort of the perfect ad for you. Again, I don't really let Facebook do anything automatically. You want to be in control of everything, just because, like I said a second ago, you're in control of sort of where the money is being spent, how it's being spent, on what is being spent as well. So again, I keep this one off. Now the next one is offer. This one is drive more conversions by creating an offer that people can save and receive reminders about. Again, I don't really use this one too often, but of course if this was a conversion ad, you could turn this on and people would be able to save your ad or whatever it was to sort of receive reminders in the future about your coupon or your sale or whatever it is that you are doing. It's quite useful, to be honest, but like I said, I'm not quite dabbled into it too much. Cool, so the next one is budget and schedule. This, of course, pretty self-explanatory. You get to choose the budget you want to use. Now, you can either use a daily budget or a lifetime budget. Pretty self-explanatory again. A daily budget would be just per day, what you want Facebook to use, whereas a lifetime one would be, say, let's just say you have a budget of £200. You're like, okay, look, Facebook, I have £200, use it however you want over, and then you get to choose over a month, over a week, over 24 hours. As you can probably imagine, with the whole common theme that's going on, I don't let Facebook control that, so I do daily budgets instead. As a safe bet, when you're starting off, I would honestly leave it at £5 per day, just because then you're not really wasting any money if the ad doesn't perform well. Because as a heads up, not every single ad is going to perform amazingly. Some of them are going to do really bad, some of them are going to be amazing. So with £5 a day, you can really experiment with that easily. You're not losing too much. Cool, so if you was to choose a lifetime budget, by the way, you of course get to choose a start date and an end date. But like I said, with this one, we're just going to do a daily budget. So let's just say the start date is today. Cool, so then as we go down, here's the audience. Now this is definitely by far the most important part of the whole ads manager side of Facebook. So you get to create these cool audiences, or you get to use saved ones as well. I'm going to go into them at the end of the video, like I said, which is probably the most important part of the whole Facebook ads. But to go over it really quickly, you can create custom audiences with your potential perfect clients. So let me just go through it really quickly. So you get to choose sort of the location that you want to target. You can be really, really specific. So for example, myself personally, I live in Colchester. So then once you've clicked that, you can choose how big you want the radius to be. You can go super specific if you wanted to. But yeah, you can go really, really specific. You can go down to 17 kilometers. You can also drop pins. So for example, if I also wanted to target Hadley, I'd just do that and everybody in Hadley would see the ad as well. Cool, so under location part, by the way, you get to choose, these are really, really important, by the way. So, I mean, you can read through them, but it says people living in or recently in this location, just people living in this location, just people recently in this location, or just people traveling in this location. So it's super important with this. I normally like to choose people living in this location, just because if you are a local business and say you are a restaurant or something, if you was to choose sort of people traveling in this location, it wouldn't be much point in targeting people that are just traveling in and out of the area, just because they probably won't ever visit the restaurant in the future. So make sure you have picked wherever you are targeting, of course. So yeah, people living in this location is quite a good one. Cool, so the next one we have age. Now it's pretty self-explanatory. You can go anywhere between 13-year-olds up to 65 plus. Now that's, the power of Facebook. So if you are, let's just say a car dealership, like for example this one, you probably wouldn't be targeting anybody younger than 17, just because it's a waste of money. Now if you're like a prestige dealership and you're selling, more so the E-Class, Mercedes, etc., again, you probably wouldn't be targeting anybody below, say 25. So yeah, you can play around with that. So yeah, for this example, they're actually a classic car dealership, and I actually had a chat with them. Their average customer is 35 plus, so I'm just going to keep it at that. Again, genders, pretty self-explanatory. With this one, we have seen the best engagement with, of course, men, because it's classic cars. So I'm just going to choose as that one. Cool, so then the next one is detailed targeting. Now this is where the power of actual Facebook ads comes in, because you can target people that are specifically into whatever you are selling, whether it's a service or an item. So let me just go through them. So when you go browse, these three pop up. So your demographics, interests, and behaviors. So under each one, as you can see, you can go really, really specific. You can target parents. You can target parents with sort of how old the kids are. Let's just choose another one. You can target sort of under job titles or employers or industries. Like look how much you get to choose. You can, target military if you really want to. So there's so much to choose from. You've also got behaviors. I'm not going to go through each one of these, by the way, because that would be a whole year for me filming this. But there is so much you can target. So also the power of that, not only you can target people, you can also exclude people. So for example, if you are an estate agency and you're running these ads, for local people, you don't want other estate agents seeing the ad just because they will, put in fake details just to waste your money. So you can literally exclude other estate agents in your local area. So you can save more money and get only leads from actual clients. Then this box here, expand your detailed targeting to reach more people when it's likely to improve performance. Again, I always leave this off because it's another one of those things that you let Facebook do automatically. Sometimes it can work well. For me personally, it hasn't, so I leave it off. Oh, also, by the way, as you can see here, this little part here that has been here this whole time, it gives you a rough estimate of the results that you're going to be getting daily. Now, because I've just chosen military by accident, if I take this off, it goes back up to 95,000 people. And by the way, that is 95,000 people in this location. If I was to sort of take this off, so if I was to take them off and do the whole of United Kingdom, so now it's targeting men that are age 35 plus, all the way up to 65 plus. And these are the sort of results that it's estimating daily. So the potential reach is 11 million. That's a lot. And by the way, this is just £5 a day. So if you have a bigger budget and you could do, £20 a day or £100 a day, you can imagine these numbers times by 5, 10, etc. Also, another thing I just wanted to mention, yes, it says daily results, and at the moment it says you're going to be getting around 150 to 400 people visiting your website. These aren't necessarily 100% accurate. Basically, what it's doing, Facebook is taking previous ads that are similar to yours, whether it's in the same industry or the same target audience, and taking the results from those ads and just saying, hey, look, your ads are looking quite similar. You're probably going to get the same results, but you might not. If your ad actually sucks, unfortunately, and you're targeting the wrong audience and they're just not engaging, you're not going to be getting these results. Or vice versa, your ad looks amazing, better than what the previous ones have looked at, and you're going to be performing a lot better and you can get a lot more numbers. So just take these with a grain of salt. These might happen, these might not, but they're a good rough estimate of what the numbers that you're going to be getting daily. So when you play around with this, this is going to go up and down. As a good sort of rule of thumb, if you are a local business, you want your target audience or your potential reach, to be around 500,000. And if you're an e-commerce client and you can ship worldwide, me personally, I don't really work with e-commerce, so I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't go probably anyone more than 4 million. That's probably too much. This gives you a pretty good estimate as well. If it says right here, if it's too to the right, it'll be too broad of an audience, whereas if it's too to the left, it's too specific. So you want to be quite in the middle. So at the moment, yeah, this is quite terrible. There's way too many people. But anyway, let's just move on. This is just an example. I'm going through it quite quickly. Also, if you made the perfect audience, you've done all the detailed targeting, to save you time the next time of you going over it again, you can literally just press save audience and it will save whatever you want it as. So then next time you come in here, you would use save audience and you just click on one of them. Cool. The next one is placements. You can of course choose whether you want automatic placements or manual placements. I always choose manual just because I mentioned the whole video, Facebook likes to sort of waste your money, I suppose. It tries to use it off as fast as possible so that you put more money in. So when you do manual placements, again, you are in control of everything, where it's being placed and how often. Now again, this really depends on what you're selling. Some ads perform better on Instagram, some ads perform better on Facebook. For this example, we're doing classic cars. A lot of their audience will be on Facebook, so I'm not even going to use Instagram at all. I never use Messenger and Audience Network. And again, just to be safe, the best one that always performs the greatest is Facebook newsfeed. So I just untick everything else. Now, like I said, sometimes I do use Instagram stories. They actually perform really, really well. But for this example, I'm just going to be using Facebook newsfeed. Then the last thing we have on the ad set is optimization and delivery. Now, if you have ran ads before, again, this is for if you are a completely beginner, do not worry about this at all. If you have ran ads before and you have a good idea of sort of the cost per lead, cost per click, those type of things, and you have a rough idea of how much it should cost, you could put it here. So yeah, if you're a complete beginner and you don't know your cost per lead and cost per click, just don't worry about that, leave that blank and we'll move on to the next one. So the last one is of course the ad itself. This is what will appear on people's Facebook and yeah, so let's just go straight through it. So here you'd obviously choose your Facebook page, and of course you can choose your Instagram as well, but let's just move on. So the actual ad setup, okay. So you have a couple of options. You can do either a single image or a video, or a carousel, which is like 3 or more photos or 2 or more photos or videos, or a collection, a group of items that are open into a full screen mobile experience. Which is quite interesting actually. So let's just go with single image or a video. Cool, so then we have the ad setup. With this, by the way, you can either create an ad, you can use an existing post that you posted previously, or use a mock-up. For this one, we'll just choose create an ad and we'll create them from scratch. Now you have an option if you want to do a single image or a video, a carousel or a collection. Now carousel obviously being more than just one photo or video where people can swipe across. And a collection, as it says here, a group of items that opens into a full screen mobile experience. Now this one would be more, of course, if you're targeting just the mobile audience, which majority of your audience will be anyway. Cool, so this is the actual ad creative. Of course, this is where you'd be doing your photo, your text, your headline, all of that good stuff. So let's go through it quickly. So of course, when you press add media, you can either add an image or a video. I've already put a bunch in because I've been creating a lot of ads in the past. So let's just choose a random one. For example, this is actually a video. So let's just do, videos always perform better, by the way, guys, just because it's a lot more interactive. You know, if they're scrolling through the feed and the video starts playing automatically, they're more likely to stop and have a look. Whereas if it's a still image, they're probably just going to scroll right past it. My bad, that was an image. I just changed it to a video. Anyway, so you can also add a poll, you can change the video or you can edit it. There's so much to talk about in those ones that again would take forever. You can customize the video just through Facebook itself. It gives you quite a lot of fun tools to play around with. Me personally, I don't quite use it. It doesn't look as professional. So I do it in Premiere Pro, and that's obviously outside of Facebook itself. Cool, so then the next one is primary text. Now this of course is the text that appears above the video when people are scrolling through. For me, for example, I'm just going to copy and paste the one that I've already used previously. Now there's 2 things you can do with the primary text, and I've heard a bunch of stories with both of them. You can either do short text straight to the point, or you can do a really long text, which most of the times is a story. For this example, I've gone for a short text. It's straight to the point. It's got the website at the bottom, and it's got you have to watch this video with an emoji. A lot of people, choose to not use emojis just because it's not professional, and I do understand, but at the end of the day, Facebook is a social platform where it's not so professional and everyone is wearing a suit, so you also don't want the ad to look like an ad. So when you add emojis and things like that, it makes it just look a lot more like just a generic post. So people are actually more likely to stop at it and have a look. Cool, so then we have the headline itself. This, again, I'm just going to copy and paste something from my last one. This one is, again, this one's quite important. You want, for me personally, I normally choose a question. It's like an open question where people are going to read it and go, I want to sort of have a look or interact with it or learn more. Then we have description. Again, even it says here, it's optional. You don't have to have a description, but for me personally, I just put something really simple. We have the biggest Shelby Cobra collection in the UK. But yeah, this ad isn't actually loading properly. It's a bit strange. It is meant to look something like this. This is one of our previous ones that we've created. It's got just over 500 sort of interactions, 68 comments and a share. The engagement with this or the reach, sorry, has been ridiculous. I think it's been seen about 60,000 times, and it's generated about just over 100 leads. I think it's in about 3 weeks we've been running this one for. But anyway, this is a lead generation ad, like I said, whereas the one that we're creating today is a traffic ad. So let's just go straight back to this one. So then after that, you obviously get to choose your website for the business. So the next one, we have a displayed link. It's basically your URL, but it will just appear a little bit shorter, however you want it to look. And for this one, I'm just going to leave that blank. By the way, it has loaded. So this is where the ad will appear on Facebook. So then the next one, we have call to action. This one, I've always chosen learn more just because it performs the best. So I'm just going to leave it as that. But there's so many you can go through and have a look at yourself. And of course, this is what appears right here. So if you was to change it, it would change what it appears on their Facebook. Languages, I don't ever play around with it because I always target people that are speaking in English. But I can imagine if you had an audience that spoke in Spanish or something, you could translate the ad right there. Cool. So then you've got tracking, and it's about sort of Facebook pixel. So let me just explain really quickly what the Facebook pixel is and what it does. So let's just say you've had it all set up, by the way. You would press publish, of course, and it'd take about 24 hours for Facebook to review it on average, and then publish it, and then your ad is running successfully. Cool, so what a Facebook pixel is, it's a bit of code in your website that's been embedded in sort of the behind the scenes of your website. You can do it personally, you can get your web developer to do it. It literally takes like 30 seconds to do. Again, I'm not going to go into the sort of how-to in this video. If you just Google or YouTube how to install Facebook pixel, I promise you it won't take you more than sort of 5 minutes to figure out. But once that's installed, now what it does, each time a person visits your website, it basically tracks their Facebook profile. So then you can create a massive list of people that have visited your website, and you can retarget them in the future. Now, as you can imagine, the power of that is you're no longer doing ads for cold audience out there. You're doing for people that have actually visited your website and now are more interested in your service or the thing that you're selling than a cold audience. So what it would look like, by the way, this is one of my clients. This little bit right here is called a Facebook Pixel Helper. It's a Google Chrome extension, which basically allows me to have a look if a website has or hasn't got a Facebook Pixel. The great thing about it, by the way, so for example, if I go from home to cars for sale, this is a whole completely different pixel. So I can target people that have literally just been on this, that have been looking at the stock that they have. So, you know, this is even more of a warmer audience than a person that has landed on a homepage. So if you're an e-commerce client, I don't know, let's just say you sell clothes, right? You're a fashion brand. You can literally target people that have been onto the add to basket screen, that were just about to purchase something from you, but for whatever reason they didn't, their baby started crying or their dog done something. You can literally target those people because all they are is like a little push away from actually buying something from you. So it's super, super important to have a Facebook pixel installed on your website. If you don't have it installed, I promise you, you're leaving thousands on the table. So anyway, once you have installed the Facebook pixel and you've been running traffic ads to your website for a good couple of months, because you need to give it some time to build up that list of people, you can come into audiences, which is right here. You can create your own audience. So you can have a custom audience, a lookalike audience, or a special ad audience. Let's just go custom audience. And right here, you would click website. And here you get to choose what it's already picked, obviously the Facebook pixel. You can choose how long ago these people visited your website. You can also choose whether it's all website visitors, people who visited a specific web page. So this is the one I was talking about, the stock list or your add to basket list. So these are really warm audiences now. And then you can name your audience whatever you want, and you would create an audience. So then the cool thing after that is, say you have your audience now, you can actually create a lookalike audience. So what Facebook will do is take that big list of people that you now have that are a warm audience, and it will create another audience that are people that are, you know, really similar to this one, whereas they have the similar interest, they interact with similar pages, etc., etc. So now you have another whole list of people that you can target, and you know they're more likely to buy your service or whatever you are selling because they are really similar to the audience that already have purchased from you previously. So yeah, that is a quick overview of Business Manager side of Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, I have tons of videos on my channel about social media marketing. If you want to find out more, just have a look through my other videos. And also, if you are an aspiring agency owner and you're just beginning, I do have, like I mentioned, a Facebook group, all for people like yourself, where we can learn and ask questions, etc., etc. That is the first link in the description. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on to the next one.